What's going on, everybody? This is Star, and welcome to the channel. I usually cover Star Wars games here, but if you're in the Star Wars community, you know exactly how well the gaming side of things is going for us right now.
Oh, not good.
It's more dramatically dead than Shmi Skywalker. So instead of Stellar Warfare, for now, I'm turning my attention to Stellar Blade. And man, has this game got my attention.
Hey mommy, hey mommy, hey mommy, hey mommy, hey mommy, you sexy, hey mommy.
May God forgive us all if there happens to be a photo mode. Stellar Blade is an upcoming Souls-like from Shift Up. They're a Korean development studio who just announced the pre-orders for this a few days ago, which is how I heard about it in the first place. And clearly I've been living under a rock, because this has been in the works for a few years now under the codename Project Eve. There's been a lot of chatter about this game online, and people have been talking about it more and more. When I checked it out, it instantly caught my eye, and not just for the obvious reasons, though they definitely help. It's coming out on April 26th as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which is really soon, so all of you Xbox and PC weebs can just come back to this channel if you need to get your fix. On that note, if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back.
Hello there.
The devs of Stellar Blade have been a lot more active and vocal about the game as we get closer to the release. But more interestingly, there is some spicy controversy surrounding this title that I thought was worth covering. Not to mention the developer response to the controversy, which was...
It's based.
I could not ignore it. So in today's video, I'm gonna do my best to get ahead of the algorithm with this game. I don't like to ask much anymore, but in this case, a thumbs up on the video would really go a long way. It helps a lot to get my videos out there, or give it a thumbs down if you don't like the booty. It's all interaction, baby. So let's get a brief look at what the game is about and see why people are both pre-ordering this game like crazy, and why there are some who are actually mad about it. Honestly, both come down to the badonk-shaped elephant in the room. And while I could definitely talk about that all day, we're a little bit classier than that here at the Star Bazaar. Plus, I think it speaks for itself. The main character is extremely fucking hot. There, we've addressed it. Now let's move on, because there's actually a lot here to love. The aesthetics are just a fantastic bonus on top of it all. Based on the trailers, the gameplay in Stellar Blade looks really solid. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's got a good mix of exploration and combat, and the combat especially reminds me of other Souls-like games. A lot of parries and counters, dodging out of the way, getting in damage when you can. Since Star Wars is my bread and butter, I can't help but compare it to Jedi Survivor, which is a very good thing. It looks like we even get a little droid buddy to back us up in this game, just like BD-1 does in Jedi, so the comparisons are there. The developers revealed that the world will be semi-open, so not a fully open world, but the maps will be pretty big, and there's going to be plenty of exploration and side quests and missions to complete, and they said the more we do, the more the game will open up to us. Gameplay-wise, the major appeal for me has to be the combat. It's very flashy and it looks pretty fast-paced, especially compared to other Souls-likes. I just hope there's not too many quick-time events, which it looks like there might have been some in the trailer. They probably just mashed that together to make the trailer look epic. But other than that, the gameplay looks really decent, and I especially can't wait to combo off with that sword. Thematically, the use of religious elements and spiritual symbolism is a really nice touch, in my opinion. Our main character is named Eve, while one of the people we meet on the journey is Adam. A little obvious and on the nose, and maybe foreshadows something. In the trailer, we see the names of some of the bosses like Belial and Abaddon, who are named after biblical demons right out of the Lesser Key of Solomon. Between all of that and the main city we explore being named Zion, the Judeo-Christian themes are really heavy here, and I'm a huge fan of that. I'm not religious myself, but spirituality and religious symbolism is right up my alley, so I love that there is this supernatural element to the whole thing that makes it feel larger than life. Plus, these creature designs are sick. There's something you would expect to find in a H.P. Lovecraft novel or something. I'm already sold on this, but if Cthulhu himself shows up, I will lose my mind!
Hey, Cthulhu, stop.
The mix of biblical lore, Lovecraftian monsters, a post-apocalyptic Earth, it all blends to set a real dark tone for this story, and I think that's where the game gets a little cheeky to lift our spirits. But I guess not everybody's happy about that.
The one thing, I know you were talking about the character from the bygone era. I do think the character model was actually like very distracting in not a good way, because like with the camera angles chosen, it just felt like this game seems like a game that came out in like 2002 in terms of its, you know, like character design. It's like a bit old and not flattering, I don't think, for a modern audience.
True, like I said, graphically, the combat-wise looks great, but I can't get past their faces looking like little girls. Either way, we'll see how they turn out whenever they're released. I feel like people like this really do a disservice to the actual bad actors that are trying to use like lolly content and stuff like that. I think this is pretty close. Like, what are we talking about here?
Stellar Blade is not stellar in my opinion. I look at Stellar Blade and I'm like, it doesn't look that good. And then everyone's like drooling over it. I'm like, I know what you're drooling about, the fucking protagonist, because you want to see some anime babe cutting things up. And I think that's stupid. You know? What if they just put a guy with swords in there instead?
You need to shut the fuck up.
The controversy surrounding Stellar Blade, if you even want to call it a controversy, is so dumb. Apparently, there is a small but vocal section of the gaming community who have expressed their dislike for how the main character Eve is designed and portrayed in the game, calling it hypersexualized or how it's from a bygone era of gaming. I don't know if these people know who gamers are. As far as hypersexualization, I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I said a big part of the appeal wasn't the character design, but there has to be substance behind it too, and this game has that, and more. If you look at this and all you see is big booba and jiggle physics, and you have a problem with that, then I feel like you're missing a bigger part of the overall experience. The booty is what drew me in, but the supernatural and biblical themes is what made me stay. Plus, if I have to stare at my main character's butt for a 5-hour play session, I'd rather it be hers. And it seems the developers of the game themselves agree, with one of them saying that special care and attention went into the main character's backside because that's what we, the player, are going to be looking at the most. Yes! Based Korean developers. I love it. They also talk about how culturally, here in the West especially, there seems to be a weird push to uglify the characters, especially the women, in video games. And this design for Eve in Stellar Blade has kind of opened the floodgates for that discussion. The game director says, "Honestly, when I play a game, I would like to see someone who is better looking than myself. That's what I want. I don't want to see something normal. I want to see something more ideal." I think that is very important in a form of entertainment. This is, after all, entertainment targeted for adults. I couldn't agree more with that statement, but not everybody does.
And then everyone's like drooling over it. I'm like, I know what you're drooling about, the fucking protagonist, because you want to see some anime babe cutting things up. And I think that's stupid. You know?
That's not stupid. That's f***ing awesome. That's part of the appeal. Sex appeal is a very real thing, and I know that might bother some people, and that's fine. But it's one of those harsh realities of the world that we just have to accept. Humans like watching attractive humans. It's just how we're hardwired. If you don't like it, then don't play the game. But there's plenty of people who do like it and will play the game, myself included. But trying to virtue signal like this about such a non-issue is just annoying, and from what I gather, it seems like most of the rest of the internet agrees that the outrage over this game is really dumb. It's probably not even real outrage, it's just people with nothing better to do complaining about the fact that we are actually getting attractive women in our video games again, and not whatever this is. But that is all I've got for today, my fellow men of culture. I can't wait to pick this game up and cover it on the channel. It is way past time I branch out beyond just the galaxy far, far away, because there's so many cool games out there I could be covering, like this one. Between this and Star Wars Outlaws, I've got a lot of content upcoming this year, so if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel and getting notified by ringing that bell icon. And if you enjoyed today's commentary, don't forget to let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. Big shout out and thank you to all the channel members, Vilshamler, Isaac S., Scoots McGee, and Duft Curse Hanover. Thank you so much for your continued support. Memberships are available for those of you who want to join the Bazaar Battalion. There's a lot of cool perks, so consider joining up today. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for choosing my video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.